Good evening, everybody. Welcome here to Winter Holder Field on February 15th for the home opener for the 2023 Taylor baseball season. Trojans come in with a 1-5 overall record. Ben Cowball frame. They've knocked around 7 hits against Indiana University. Purdue Collins, who's the second pitcher out of the bullpen today for IUPUC. Quincy Collins, he's 0 for 2 today, grounded out in the first, and then hit into an inning-ending fielder's choice back in the second. Taylor struck for 5 in the bottom of the first, thanks to a 3-run home run by sophomore sensation to an 2 RBI single by Camden Knepp, and then 2 different single-run hits, a double from Colpine in the third and a sac fly from today's DH Cade Vandermolen has round out the Trojans scoring today. And for the first time this afternoon, Cowball makes his way onto the bases with a leadoff walk here to start things off in the home half. Cowball out of Florida. Nick Ruschi at shortstop here this season. One to Kennedy easily will coast Loy up to second base. Trojans dropped 3 last week to Georgia Gwinnett, the 7th-ranked team in the country. Had leads in all 3 of them, just had a couple unfortunate setbacks in batting out of the 7th spot. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk his last time up. He scored on the Mason David RBI single in the third stanza. As the Trojans opening up, by our records, the second earliest start time in Taylor baseball history. They opened up on Valentine's Day about 10 or 11 years ago. Throw back to second from Quincy, and Loy back in plenty of time. Kennedy comes into the night batting 190, 4 hits in 21 plate appearances. He's driven in 4. Stop Ben Kennedy. 6 feet tall, 175 pounds. For Taylor here in the bottom of the 4th. University of Illinois, Chicago, during the Trojans' J-term trip out foul. And it's even at a ball and a strike here for the Trojan center fielder. 6 feet tall out of Arlington Heights, Illinois is Picchiotti. He's got plenty of speed on the base pass. He's got Loy running for Cowball at second. And Kennedy behind him at first. Nobody out, bottom of the 4th. Taylor leading by 9 over IUPUC. Picchiotti again shows bunt. Collins comes inside to the lefty, and he's off target. And Picchiotti goes up 2-1. First 2 men reach base safely via the walk here in the home half of the 4th. As Taylor has scored in every inning they've batted so far. The lone IUPUC run came in the top of the 2nd. 4th one, Picchiotti takes a hack at it and sends it back to the screen. Count evens up at 2-2. Temperature in the low 60s at first pitch today. That came just shy after 5 Eastern. Wind is blowing fairly steadily from left to right. It was gusting in the high 20s at some points throughout the day. The 2-2 misses low, and the count is run full for Picchiotti. Nobody out, first and second with 2 walks for the Trojans here in the bottom of the 4th. Appearance of the season, and he gets Picchiotti to chase one low, and there's the first out here in the bottom of the 4th for TU. That takes us back to the top of the order, and the Trojan second baseman Mason David. Kennedy back behind him at first. This one gets away all the way to the backstop. Everybody moves up 90 feet. Loy with a big round around third. And now just a single could make this a 12-1 Taylor lead. Excellent night for Mason David. 3 times and scoring all 3 times as well. Fast him to Knepp's 2 RBI knock later in the frame, and then singled last inning as well. The 3-0, or the 2-0. Now 3-0 with Collins missing low. It was Blake Nigg to start tonight for IUPUC. Gavin Haltom came in after him, and then Collins entered an inning ago in the third. Ball 4, and they're loaded up for last year's Crossroads League Player of the Year, TJ Bass. And before all that fun can happen, we have a summons to the bullpen. Bass has walked 3 times now. We'll see if he can get on base via a hit. We're back with more next here on the Trojan Sports Network. Jonathan Moreno's the new man on the hill for IUPUC. 4th man to throw a pitch tonight for the Crimson Pride. He's got to face the first-team All-American from a year ago and the preseason first-team All-American. That would be 1 fifth-year senior, Timothy James Bass. He's walked 3 times tonight. Takes the first one on the outside part of the plate. 3 walks and 3 runs scored for the 5th-year senior out of Greenwood, Indiana. Could be 2 for IUPUC. They get the runner out at second. They can't turn 2. And Loy scores from third, and that makes the Taylor lead 11-1. A smattering of applause for Bass's knock to the left side. Kennedy moves over to third, and here's Caleb Colpin. 3-run homer for Colpin in the first got Taylor on the board to start. He's a Trojans' top batter this year at .409. The home run was his 4th of his sophomore season. 2-0 on an off-speeder upstairs. The younger of the Colpins, Cade, the senior on the roster as well. Caleb, last year's MAC. Scoring from third with ease is Kennedy. And it's 1st and 3rd as Bass hustles over 180 feet and give 5 runs batted in tonight for Caleb Colpin. 12-1, the Trojan lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the DH, Cade Vandermolen. Cade, the senior out of Pella, Iowa. Very happy with Sunday's Super Bowl result. Big Kansas City Chiefs fan. And it's ball 1 from Moreno. 0 for 1 night for Vandy. Struck out in the first. Was hit by a pitch in the second, then a sac fly in the third. Brought home the third of what would be 3 runs in the third frame. 2 have come home so far in the 4th. It's a 12-1 Trojan lead over the Crimson. Wind starting to blow a little bit out towards right center field again. 8 hits on the night. Camden Knepp waits on the righty Moreno out of the stretch. Home. Has only gotten 1 hit to show for it. First one to Knepp, the left couple of times about. The 4th, off speed, makes it 2-1. Connor Beatty in left, John Codner in center, Wyatt Sutton in right, Crimson Pride. Back-to-back off-speed pitches make it 2-2 here for the Taylor third baseman Knepp. Knepp stepping into the role, vacated by Michael Panarski. A fine third baseman and relief pitcher for the Trojans a season ago. Not only did Taylor win the Crossroads League tournament title, as Moreno asked for a new baseball and gets it with the count full at 3-2. Taylor also hosted an NAI opening round, or an opening round site host for the second time in Pround. The 2 times that Taylor has hosted an opening round. They've either had the national champ or remain full, and then they throw it away to the third base side, and another run comes around, avoiding the tag and sliding in safely is Caleb Colpine. And things go to bad for worse for IUPUC. It's 14-2 Taylor. Nine at first. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Taylor out in front, 14-1. Fastball inside to the big righty. 6'3", 225 out of late. Bluffing the throw back to second is Moreno. Manning 294, fourth best batting average for the Trojans entering tonight. And had one of the 4 Trojan round trippers coming in before Colpine went yard in the first. Second one glances the outside corner, strike 1. Ben Calball, the catcher, waits on deck. He led the sending off with a walk. If he can get up again, it'd be the first time Taylor has batted around tonight. Late in that 5-run first, and they scored 4 so far here in the fourth. Opposite batter's box, 3 balls and a strike. Taylor added this game on Monday after losing a couple of games with St. Ambrose last week down in Georgia. Taylor on the road this week, heading back to the Peach State for the Southeast Rumble against Point Park, IU Southeast, and William Carey. 3-1, called strike, makes it full. IU Southeast, 18th ranked team in the country. William Carey receiving votes. Those are the 2 teams at the Trojans side. Blinn stays down, fires across. It was off target, pulled from the right side of the infield. And there's the 3rd error of the night for IUPUC. And Taylor has put up another run here in the stanza. Vandermolen, the one to score from third. So we go back to where we started with Benjamin Calball. Second and third for Calball. And a fastball that misses its mark, 1-0. Over 2-9 for Ben. Grounded out and hit into the fielder's choice in the first and the second. Then walked and scored in the fourth. Off speed, misses the knees again, 2-0. Runners at second and third. Taylor has put 5 runs on the board here in the bottom of the fourth, and they lead 15-1. See bullpen. Strike to Calball makes it 3-1. Taylor batting around for the first time tonight, matching their 5-run output in the first. And the 3-1 is low, and the bases are loaded. And Drew Loy comes in once again to run for the catcher, Ben Calball. So here's Ben Kennedy, the shortstop, stepping up for the second time here in the fourth. And he's yet to be retired tonight with a single and a couple of walks. Fastball glances the corner for a called strike. Ben singled in the first, then walked in the third, walked earlier here in this fourth. He's the 11th man to come to the plate tonight for TU. Lifts this one high into left center field. Drifting back is Codner. The center fielder is underneath, makes the catch, and brings this bottom of the fourth to a close. Not before Taylor tacks on 5 more runs, and they lead 15-1 after 4 here on the Trojan Sports Network. Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth,
outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student-athletes.
Couple of defensive changes for the Trojans. Mason David slides over from second to go to short, replacing Ben Kennedy. Off the bench, Norby Fernandez replacing David at second base. Ben Calbaugh re-enters and catches, and it's Sam Glad coming off the bench to play for Braden Manning at first. First full inning of work for Jacob Boyer after coming in relief of his freshman classmate Wes Hunt back in the top of the fourth. Peyton Blinn leads it off for the Crimson Pride. It's a ball and 2 strikes. He's 0 for 2 tonight, striking out in the first, reaching on an error in the third. Breaking ball away, and it's 2 and 2. Blinn, the sophomore from Clayton, Indiana, went to Cascade High School. Righty versus righty matchup, check swing, and that one catches the right side of the netting. Great night for Wes Hunt, 3 innings and 2/3. 6 strikeouts, allowed just the 1 run. Did walk 4, however, to close his night. Ground ball left side, net at the knees, across the diamond to first, right on target. And the first out's recorded here in the 5th. One out, nobody on. A 15-1 Taylor lead here in the bottom of the 5th of their home opener. And the center fielder, John Codner, steps in, the lefty. Breaker inside. It's 1-0. Inaugural season for the IUPUC baseball program. 2-0 now to Codner. Played Huntington in a 4-game series. They went 1-3 and gave up 32 runs to the Foresters. And were able to muster just 12 against that high-octane Huntington offense. 2-1 to Codner, the center fielder, who's 0 for 1 tonight. Boyer leaves her up high. It's 3 balls and a strike. Nobody on, 1 out. 5th one, in on the hands, ball 4. One of the questions coming in for the Trojans this year is who would replace Luke Shively and Noah Huseman at the top of the Taylor pitching staff. Shively, the pitcher of the year last year. Both young men, all Crossroads League selections. Shively, an All-American to boot as well in his 5th and final season in Upland, Indiana. Huseman went over the 100 strikeout mark. And both were almost automatic, winning double-figure games last season. So the Trojans bring back Alec Holcomb and Matt Dudkowski. They've been the 2 1-2 starters, particularly out in Arizona for the Trojans. But that'll be one of the question marks for Taylor throughout this season is who takes over the top of the rotation. A lot of talented young arms that pitching coach Justin Barber is very excited about, but got to get that experience and the always increasing talent level of the Crossroads League. Boyer checks on Codner at first. And he's back in safe. Just 2 hits all night for the visitors from Columbus. Runner goes. Calbaugh fires a strike down to first. The tag is in time. Nicely played by David. 2 outs here in the 5th. Ball 3 at the plate to Ross, the third baseman for IUPUC. He is 0 for 2 on 2 different drop third strikes. Fourth one inside, and that's the second walk of the inning surrendered by Boyer. Top half of the fifth inning, 15-1 the Taylor lead for the lefty DH Trey Johnson. Trey 6'5" out of Hope, Indiana. In his junior season, being a part of the inaugural baseball year for the Crimson Pride. Off speed, and Boyer just really struggling to find the inside part of the plate to the lefties here in the fifth. Ball 1. 0 for 1 night for Johnson. Walked and scored the only run for the visitors tonight. That came in the fourth. Good off-speed pitch. Evens the count, or makes it 1-2 as Boyer went to the knees. Alec Beatty, the catcher, on deck. Fastball high, 2-2. When we get to the bottom of the fifth, it'll be 9-1-2 coming up for the Trojans. Calbaugh tried to frame that one, but making his zone smaller was Johnson, and the count is run full. Takes off for second base, and this one skied high into the cloudless night sky. Fernandez in the shallow right field grass, and the new second baseman makes the snag. And another 0 up on the board here for IUPUC. Halfway home from the metropolis of Upland, Indiana, 15-1 Trojans here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure. Rethink your limits.
Bottom of the fifth inning. Luke Picchiotti, the Taylor center fielder, leads it off. Then we go back to the top of the order. New shortstop Mason David, who started off at second base, as Jonathan Moreno gets his first full inning of work tonight. Fee comes in at shortstop for IUPUC, and that one's going to plunk Picchiotti on the elbow. He'll take a leisurely jog to first. Max Weininger now the new first baseman. Top of the order, David strokes one to center field, almost losing his footing, but gathering it back in Codner. That's a one-pitch fly out to center. One out, one on for TJ Bass. TJ 3 walks, a fielder's choice, and an RBI tonight. Batting just 192 in his fifth-year senior season. Curveball away, ball one. Taylor in the home white tonight with the gold numbers and the gold letters. Black jerseys, gray pants for visiting IUPUC. Picciotti, good head start down to second. This one almost gets airmailed into the outfield. And Picciotti in there with his feet first slide. He takes second base. Runner in scoring position for Bass. The count sits 2-0 to the All-American. Both middle infield. No signal by either of our umpires, so Bass is safe. Low throw pulled Weininger off the bag. Couldn't keep his toe on there. And it's first and third here for Taylor with one gone in the home half of the fifth. Not a real threat to steal, so he takes a step and a half back to the bag. Colpin pops it up. Shallow center field. Hustling back is Fee, the new shortstop. He's called off, unable to make the sliding catch is Codner. Scoring from third base is Picciotti, and it's a 16-1 Trojan lead. Seventh hit of the night for the Trojans, as Caleb Colpin has a pinch runner coming in. That'll be Drew Loy, with his older brother Cade here about to bat. Younger sister coming here to play volleyball next fall for Aaron Luthie's defending regular season and Crossroads League tournament champs. 2 on, 1 out for big brother Cade. Roll over ground ball right side. Vane Bibber trying to turn two. They get the out at second, on to first. And in time, 16-1 Trojans on the Trojan Sports Network.
Life to the full for me looks like approaching every.
When I think of life to the full, I think of joy, especially the Taylor body, the Taylor community, what Taylor has to offer.
Humility.
There's so many things at Taylor that are preparing me to live life to the full. I love doing research and engaging as part of Mosaic Night the next.
We have a lot of opportunity here to help students and to equip them to live life full now and well beyond their years at Taylor, and part of that is the intentionality we have with developing.
The different opportunities that Taylor allows us to learn about different cultures, people, and places.
I love that we get to do chapel together 3 times a week. Nobody takes attendance. Nobody tells me I have to be there, but I get to be there.
I think I see that in sports, on the football field, in the throwing ring, in classes, and also in student leadership positions.
I experience life to the full at chapel because I get to play in a chapel band, and I get to sit up there and play piano and glorify God with one of my gifts.
The community gives me a sense of life to the full in that I get to see students go through their 4 years here, develop as intellectuals and scholars, be prepared for their vocations, and go out into the world and influence the world for Christ.
Gage Gongwer makes his home debut, coming in to pitch here in place of Jacob Boyer as we start the top half of the 6th inning. TJ Bass moves over to right field. Drew Loy, who pinch ran for Caleb Colpine, is in left. Hack of a swing up top by the catcher Alec Beatty, and the count evens up 2-2. Gage, the freshman from Wakarusa, Indiana, Northwood High School, the alma mater. Ground ball up the middle. David charging, dives, and it just bounces off of his mitt and lands into shallow center field. Third hit of the night for IUPUC, a walk to Beatty. His second time up, and he's on for the second time tonight. Or an inning and a third, for Boyer. As we just start play here in the top half of the 6th, 15-1, or 16-1, the Taylor advantage. And 1. Came in defensively in the bottom half of the 5th. And Weininger down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Frick, the first baseman that he replaced, went 1 for 2. His windup, his delivery looks every bit as big brother Drake, who graduated a season ago. They both wear the same number 10. The lone difference is Gage has got the long, flowing locks sticking out of the back of that purple cap. Runner goes from first, bounces in. Cowball couldn't catch the ricochet, and sliding in safely to second base is Beatty. Ball 1 at the plate for Connor Beatty. Now, Drake Gongwer did have some long hair in his younger days, so maybe that is where Gage got the idea from. Wanted to go full freshman year Drake Gongwer. Bunt shown. Beatty over to third base. Nathan 0 for 1 tonight with a ground out and a walk. Fastball inside half, called for strike 1. For the top half of the 6th inning, Taylor out front 16-1, out hitting IUPUC 10-3 tonight. Runner at third is the leadoff man, Alec Beatty, the catcher. Ball and a strike on 1 low. Third one high and in, 2 balls and a strike. Couple hoppers, left side, Mason David at short. Fields fires for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th. All Taylor from Winter Holder Field, 16-1.
Six figures. Our participation rate amongst our athletic alumni jumped by 30%. So we're seeing a lot. We're not doing this, Dave, for big capital projects. Closing in really fast on the. We'll be redoing not your everyday program needs or not your big capital.
Pitch and leadoff man here in the home half of the 6th inning for Taylor. And that's the 4th error of the night for the Crimson Pride. Sam Glad bats for the first time tonight, taking over for Braden Manning at first a couple of innings ago. This is his first at-bat of the night. And the big lefty chops that one to the left, and it goes foul. Glad batting 188 as he plays in his 6th game of the season. Taylor trying to pick up their 2nd win of the year after dropping 3 in a row, and all 3 played last week to number 7, Georgia Gwinnett. Second one misses, ball 1. Ben Cowball, the catcher, awaits on deck. Leadoff fielding error has Knepp at first base. Glad chops at it, trying to push her fair, and it just hit the Indiana. Off the shin guards of Alec Beatty. It's ball 2 at the plate, and Knepp moves up 90 feet to second base. Runner in scoring position for Glad, the lefty. Grooves that one to right center field, drops into fair territory. Knepp gets the wave around. He trying to trade places as the throw cut off. So the leadoff error comes back. To hurt IUPUC. And the catcher Ben Cowbaugh digs in. Has to scoot back. It's ball 1. Ben started off the night 0 for 2. Has walked back-to-back times since. Runner at second. 2-0. Third one outside of the zone as well. 3 ball batting order, so it'll be interesting to see who would come into courtesy run for the catcher Cowball. We'll have to wait at least one more pitch. An off-speed delivery from Moreno is called for a strike. If you're new to NAI baseball, pitchers and catchers, if they bat, the if for the pitchers obviously, and they get on base, you're allowed a courtesy runner with no subs. It'll be Micah Long over at first. First and second for the senior out of Canton, Michigan, Norby Fernandez, right-handed bat. 17-1, the Taylor lead. Pickoff attempt back to first. Back in plenty of time is Glad. Center fielder Luke Picchiotti waits on deck. 2-1, nobody out, bottom of the 6th. First one to Fernandez is called for a ball. Season debut for Norby. Trying to keep and to get the force out there for out number 1, but runners at second and third for Picchiotti. Batting for the 5th time. Curveball, sat on it, but dropped in nicely by Moreno for a called strike 1. Taylor has scored runs in every time they've been to the plate tonight. 5-2-3, 5-1 through innings 1 through 5. And Picchiotti drives one into right field. Sutton racing underneath, makes the catch above his head. Runner's tag. Going back to second base is Long. Scoring from third is Glad. And Taylor scores for the 6th inning in a row. Their lead moves to 18-1. Mason working on a 2-for-3 night. Had reached base safely his first 4 plate appearances this evening. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. It was a walk and 2 singles and a walk first 4 times up for David in innings 1 through 4. Then flew out to Codner in center for the first out last inning in the 5th. Long courtesy running for Cowbaugh at second. Curveball drops in to make it 1-1 to David. Long a catcher by trade, so there's a good chance we could see 33 put on the gear when we head to the top of the 7th. Taylor's put 9 men to the plate once. They batted around once as well. That was back in the 4th. Off speed, misses 2-1 to David. Bouncer left side, Fee charges, snags to third, and Long could not slide underneath the tag. And there's out number 3. We played 6 innings from Winter Holder Field. Trojans all on top of IUPUC. They lead 18-1. We're back with more next here on the Trojan Sports Network. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. Second inning of work for the younger Gongwer. We're in the top half of the 7th inning. Count 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Down on strikes is Peyton Dennison. And there's one gone with Peyton Blinn. Make it Colin Fee about to step in. High pop-up, sliding is Knepp, makes the catch in foul territory on the third base line, and there quickly 2 gone here in the 7th for IUPUC. Two outs, nobody on for the center fielder, John Codner. And the lefty watches Gongwer's curveball miss high. Ball 1. Codner 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out his first time up in a 1-2-3 inning for Wes Hunt, tonight's starting pitcher in his first collegiate start. Remember, Hunt on the dual scholarship has been with the Taylor basketball team up until last week when he made his collegiate base. Fastball inside, just misses its mark. 4-pitch walk with 2 gone. And that brings up the third baseman, Jared Ross, another lefty. Ground ball right side, knocked down by Glad. Picks it up, steps on first, and the 2-out walk brings no damage.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner. Jones Financial Advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson can help you get started today.
Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to homemade hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
The always exciting TJ Bass leads things off for Taylor here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 2-3 and 4 up for the home team, as Bass has reached base safely every time he's been to the plate tonight, doing so on a fielding error last time up. Don't expect Bass to see the type of pitches that he saw last year, getting the first-team All-American nod at the end of his fourth-year junior season. Loops this one inside the third base bag, into the left field corner. Should be extra bases for 11 and White. He coasts in with a double, his first hit of the night in total. And he's gotten to the plate 6 times. He's gotten on base 6 times. TJ Bass not slowing down here as a fifth-year senior. A double for TJ. Chucks a healthy amount of body armor towards the Taylor dugout. That, of course, would be the physical armor itself, not the beverage by the same name. And here's Drew Lloyd for the first time tonight at the plate. Bottom of the 7th inning, both middle infielders crowding around Bass at second. Bouncer left side. Nice snag by Taylor head coach Kyle Gould there in the third base coach's box. Lloyd, the 6'2 sophomore out of Lafayette, Indiana, graduated from McCutcheon Pirouettes, and he got plunked on the back, and the first 2 men have reached base safely for TU here in the bottom of the 7th. And it brings up Cade Colpine for the second time tonight. Off speed, drops in upper half for a called strike. It was fun talking with Cade a few weeks ago. He and his brother Caleb went back home to Fort Wayne to Homestead High School for their sister's signing to come play volleyball next year, as he pulls that one to the cheer team next season as well. All 3 of those guys came back, but it was the Colpines that talked to their mother. And she said, well, it'd be nice if you boys came, and they worked out a deal because they'd gotten right back into town in the wee hours of the morning on Sunday morning from the Arizona trip over J-term. Third pitch is a ball, 1-2. And so Cade, the wise old man that he is, got a home-cooked meal out of it for he and Caleb, and they went back and were in that fantastic signing photo with their sister, who will be on the volleyball team next fall. 2-2. With 2 on and 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th, Taylor in the driver's seat leading 18-1. Pickoff attempt back to second. Darting back in time is Bass. Breaking ball, good eye from Cade, and he runs the count full. Bass at second after his leadoff double. Loy's at first after getting hit by a pitch. 12-3 in favor of hits for the Trojans as well to go with their 17-run lead. And for Colpine, the older of the 2, Cade draws a walk, and they're loaded with nobody gone here in the 7th for TU. And Micah Long pinch hits here for Taylor. Remember, he came in as the courtesy runner for Calball last inning in the 6th. So we'll see if he comes in. He bats in place of Camden Knepp. Out of the 5-hole. Ball 1. Knepp tonight, 2 walks, 2 singles. Drove into, reached on an error last inning, and also scored twice. So an eventful night for the third baseman, Knepp. Long watches that one low, 2-0. I mentioned his younger sister coming to be a part of the competitive cheer team for Taylor next fall. And they're in action here Friday night. 7:30 is when the festivities start for the Trojan Invite, 3-0 to Long. If you can't make it out for the second ever home competitive cheer competition in Taylor history, we've got you covered here on the Trojan Sports Network. Bases juice, nobody gone here in the home half of the seventh for Micah Long, pinch hitting. Off speed at the letters, makes it 3-1. Glad, the first baseman, waits on deck. (3-1). Got Glad on the midsection. And that will bring home the 19th run for Taylor tonight. It'll be a call to the bullpen for IUPUC. We'll introduce you to the new Crimson Pride pitcher next here on the Trojan Sports Network. Nobody out, bottom of the seventh. Taylor leading by 18.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza, or cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread. It also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Sam Glad rips one off of Alec McComb into right field. One run is coming to score. Here comes the second. As Loy and Cade Colpine score standing up. 2 RBI knock for Glad. He has gone to the plate twice. A double and a single and driven in 3. And it's now 21-1 in favor of TU. Long hustles over to third, and here's Joe Locos batting for the Trojans in place of Ben Calabaugh, the catcher. This one gets away to the backstop, and Long coasts in from third. And all 4 men that reach base safely against Moreno have come in to score. 22-1. The Taylor advantage now, as they have been feasting on missed opportunities and misplays by IUPUC. Remember the Crimson Pride, though, inaugural season for them, and they've come out of the gates playing 4 games against Huntington, one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the Crossroads League every year, and they get the defending Crossroads League tournament champs, the 24th ranked team in the country, Taylor, here for their 4th game ever. 2-0 to Locos. Checked his swing, but grazes the corner for strike 1. Glad at second after the pass ball that scored Long. 4th one to Locos. Bouncer through the left side into left field. And a knock for Locos off the bench. 1st and 3rd. Nobody out here at the bottom of the 7th for Taylor, leading by 21. So it's 1st and 3rd for Norby Fernandez, who's 0 for 1. Alec Beatty comes out to talk things over with McComb. McComb, a utility man out of Columbus, Indiana, Columbus East High School. His alma mater, 5'10", 175. Fastball is low for a ball. 14, not looked back since. Fastball is up high, 2-0. As we mentioned, Taylor has their first home series of the year. Next week should be a good Friday and Saturday at 1 o'clock. And then Taylor jumps right into Crossroads League play March 3rd here against St. Francis, and they'll play the final 2 games of that one up in Fort Wayne the next day. That one up high for ball 3. Ricocheted off the mitt of Alec Beatty, went all the way to the backstop. And so Locos takes second base. Glad stays where he's at third. (3-1) fastball, ball 4, and they're loaded up. Number 9-man Luke Picchiotti asked behind them are the only starters from the starting 9 left out there for the Trojans as they're getting some valuable time for the rest of the lineup. Picchiotti grooves one into right field, scores 1. Here comes the second man, Picchiotti, all the way around with a stand-up 2 RBI double. And Taylor adds to their lead. It's 24-1 here in the bottom of the 7th with still nobody out. Fernandez goes from first to third. And the 9th batter of the inning is Mason David, the shortstop. Taylor has scored runs in every inning tonight, 6 of them so far here in the 7th. First one fouled away by David with Bass standing on deck. David golfs one out of play to the right. 1 ball or nothing. Make it no balls, 2 strikes. Mason 2 for 4 with the 2 singles. Has scored 3 runs and driven in 1. Has also walked twice as well. The 0-2. Watches it low. Beatty covers it up, bounces away from him. Everybody stays where they're at after ball 1. David reached base safely his first 4 times up tonight. Chases a low one, bounces all the way to the backstop. Fernandez scores from third. David safe at first on the drop, 3rd strike. 25-1 the Taylor lead now. And Taylor bats around for the 2nd time tonight. Bass comes back up after leading this inning off with a double. Bass rips one towards center field. Codner comes in, makes the catch eye level. First out of the inning, throws into home, cut off by the pitcher McComb. Picchiotti scampers in on a sac fly from third. That's the 2nd RBI of the night for TJ Bass. David still at first after reaching on the drop, 3rd strike. McComb able to drop home a breaking ball. Strike 1, inner half to Drew Loy, the new left fielder for the Trojans. Takes over for Caleb Colpine in this 3rd spot in the order. Ball bounces away from Beatty. David moves up 90 feet to second. Colpine on fire again. Drove in 6 runs tonight. Was a triple short of the cycle. 2 singles, a double, and the 3-run home run that busted this thing open in the bottom of the 1st. Offside, or actually outside corner, called for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Loy. With 1 out and David the runner at second base for TU. Home opener for the Trojans here on February 15th. Fastball in, good eye, 2-2. And the 5th one to Loy. Watches it miss the outside corner. The count has run full. Loy, the 11th batter of the inning. The first 8 men have scored. Number 9 is David. And stepping up now is Cade Colpine. Cade 0 for 1 tonight. Into a double play and walked his last time up. Checks one up high. It is ball 1. Checking with our breaker. Makes it 1-1. Called strike 1. But it's been beautiful weather here in Upland the last couple of days. Really nice on Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday. Sunshine out. High 40s. We've been in the mid-50s ever since. Got all the way up to 62 degrees or somewhere in that neighborhood today. Third one makes it 2-1, fall all the way down to 24 degrees. As Colpine bounces one to the right side. Snagged by there's a threat of a little bit of snow coming in here either next Wednesday or Thursday, but the weird thing is going to be the day after the snow hits, it's going to be about 42 the very next day, so it might be here one day and be gone the next. Only about an inch or so it's being called for right now. Here's Micah Long for the second time. 2-0 to Micah, hit by a pitch with the bases loaded his last time up, and his only time up so far tonight, which is earlier in this inning. Backdoor breaking ball, misses 3-0. Fourth one, able to get it across the corner, framing it nicely is the catcher, Alec Beatty, for strike number 1. Fifth one to Long. Watches a fastball miss upstairs, and there's ball 4, and Taylor's loaded the bases for yet another time tonight. Here's Sam Glad, the first baseman, with who looks to be the new catcher, Joe Locos. Shin guards are on, ready in the on-deck circle. Two for 2 night for Sam with a double and a single. He's driven in 3 runs and scored twice as well. Lefty takes inside for a strike. 2 RBI single is first time up here in the 7th. So he's the 14th batter Taylor's put to the plate here in the 7th stanza. McComb just misses on the backdoor breaking ball outside, 1-1. Off the Taylor bench. It brings home at least 2. It might bring home 3. Stomping on the brakes, though, was Long there at third base. Second double of the... And it's all Taylor tonight, up by 27. With a single earlier in our 7th stanza. Breaking ball drops in for strike 1. Locos, when we get to the top of the 8th, will take over the catching duties for Ben Calbaugh, tonight's starter. Good to see Ben back out there as that one bounces away. Long holds at third. As it bounces into the IUPUC dugout, and so Long will jog in from third on the wild pitch. Glad moves over to third. It's a 29-1 Taylor lead here in the bottom of the 7th. They have scored 10 runs. Make it 11 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Scott Bickle, the IUPUC head coach, makes his way out of the dugout to have a chat with his infield. We thank all of you folks for watching online tonight, especially the Hall of Famer Rhett Goodmiller. And Rhett, you're exactly right. You know exactly what I mean. And Rhett, 100% right. 100% right. For those of you just tuning in for the ode to everyone's favorite assistant coach, Coach Rick Atkinson, who sadly passed away a couple of years ago, the Atlanta Braves A emblazoned in the first base coach's box. Assistant coach Trevor Booth in his second season back at his alma mater, just like Devin Wilburn before him after the sudden and sad passing of Coach A. The Trojans leave the first base coach's box open for their first batter of the ballgame, whether on the road or at home. And they've continued that tradition as well. We miss Coach A every day around here in Upland, Indiana. 2-2 to Locos. Runner at third, 2 gone. 11 runs home for Taylor here in the 7th inning alone. And the count now full. Fernandez, the second baseman, waits on deck. Payoff pitch. And Locos goes around, dropped by Beatty. The catcher picks it up, down to first for out number 3. On to the 8th. Taylor leading 29-1 here on the Trojans Sports Network.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Nolan Bond in to pitch for the Trojans, sophomore 5'6", out of Mooresville, Indiana. So we're here in the top half of the 8th inning. Balls and no strikes to the DH. Trey Johnson, 5, 6, and 7 coming up here for IUPUC. Second appearance for Bond, went a third of an inning to get a strikeout. His only time up pitching before this, fouling it away as Johnson. It's 3-2. Trey tonight at the plate, 0 for 2 with a walk. He has scored the only run of the night for the Crimson Pride. That came all the way back in the second. Bond is still as a statue here on this what has become chilly night in Upland, Indiana. Fastball in, and it's a leadoff walk. And it brings up the catcher, Alec Beatty. Bond, the fourth different pitcher Taylor has used tonight. 2 innings of work for Gage Gongwer, a hit, no runs. Faced 8 and threw 27 pitches. Wes Hunt got the start, went 3 2/3, allowed the 1 run. But he had a 5-0 lead after retiring the side of the top of the first. High fly ball left side. Drew Loy racing, showing off the wheels, near foul territory, tiptoes the foul line. Reaches up, makes the catch, and there's 1 gone. But Gage Gongwer just went 2 innings of work. Squaring a bunt. Ms. Max Weiniger, or Weiniger, excuse me. Max is 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. Ball gets away from Locos behind the plate. Move Johnson up 90 feet to second base. Three and 0 to Weiniger, who bats for the second time this evening. And Bond misses low, and that's his second walk issued of the inning. Two on, 1 out, as IUPUC looks for their second run of the night. And it's Connor Beatty, the left fielder, trying to drive in a couple more tallies here for the visitors. Nathan Vane Bibber waiting on deck. First pitch is a strike. Second one just off target. As Connor Beatty 0 for 1 here tonight. Tried to lay a bunt down in the third, was retired. Walked in the fourth and had the sacrifice in the sixth. Runner got all the way to third. That was his brother Alec Beatty, but he got no closer than that. 1-2. Off the end of the bat and into the netting. Count remains at 1-2. One, two, swing and a miss. Strikeout for Bond. There are 2 out for Indiana University, Purdue University, Columbus here in the 8th. It's the 9-hole hitter, Nathan Vane Bibber, the second baseman, trying to extend this 8th frame for the visitors. Trey Johnson and Weiniger both walked. That's how they got on base. It's Johnson at second and Weiniger at first. Fastball misses low, 2-0. $16 hits for Taylor tonight, just 3 for IUPUC. They've left 9 men on the bases. Bond with a breaking ball, gets it called for strike 1. Fourth one, trying to find the corner was Bond, unsuccessful. Overthrown, backed up by Fernandez, throws to third, and Trey Johnson is meat at third base. So the Trojans avoid disaster on an overthrow from the catcher Locos. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Taylor out front, big over IUPUC.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
We're in the bottom of the 8th. He faces off against the bottom last 2 men of the Taylor order. That was our Fernandez and Picchiotti. Then we'll go back to the top and meet up with Mason David again. Johnson taking over for Alex McComb, excuse me. And Fernandez trying to get on base with a hit for the first time tonight. He's down 0-2. The third one off target to make it 1-2. Walked and scored on Picchiotti's 2 RBI double last inning. Fernandez flies one to deep left field. Beatty going back just in front of the warning track, camps underneath, and makes the grab. Out number 1 here in the 8th. No wind to speak of. Actually starting to pick up just a whisker. Again, we had wind well into the 20 to 30 mile an hour range when this day started, but the sun has gone down and taken the wind with it. First one's ball 1. Picchiotti 1 for 3 tonight, has driven in 3 and has scored twice. Checks and it's 2-0. Luke transferred in. He's just a sophomore. was a Flame last year at UIC. That's the University of Illinois, Chicago. 3 balls, no strikes. In and out of the glove of Alec Beatty, 4-pitch walk, and a man on for Taylor here in the home half. Back to the top of the order we go, and Mason David. This is Mason's 8th plate appearance of the evening. Belt high, outside corner, taken for a strike. David started the night off hot. 2 for 2, reaching base safely on all 4 plate appearances to start the night off. Then went retired in back-to-back efforts before reaching on a drop 3rd strike and scoring in the 7th. Second one off target. Actually made just a glance at that outside corner, make it 0-2. All 9 men that batted to start that 7th inning all came around to score. Backing out of the way for ball 1, or ball 2, is David. Two balls and 1 strike. David's also scored 4 runs here this evening on a 2-for-5 evening. 4th one. Fouled off, or knocked off right side, knocked down by Weininger, the first baseman. Picks it up. 2 outs, 1 on for TJ Bass. Dad Andy standing down to our left in the now open fan section seating where the Ruschi family used to sit. Bass grooves one to deep left field. Beatty watches it sail off the fence. And Bass collects his 3rd RBI of the night on his 2nd double. And Taylor now leads 30-1. In case you're wondering, TJ Bass still good at baseball. Two on with Bass, and here's Loy at the plate. That fan section used to be where the Ruschi family hung out at, along with Connor Crawford's now wife, 3 outs away from their 2nd win of the season in tonight's home opener. To the 9th we go with Taylor leading big here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Before we go on, we do want to say thank you to all of the baseball alums and friends of the Taylor baseball program that donated all that money a handful of years ago to build this press box, keeping us nice and warm and toasty here on February 15th. It has dipped down to a chilly 49 degrees here in the metropolis that is Upland, Indiana tonight. Connor Miller in to clean things up for the Trojans. 3 outs away with Taylor up 30-1 over IUPUC. Nathan Vainbibber leads it off. He was the one batting when the ball got overthrown over then pitcher Nolan Bond's head, and then it was Fernandez that got the runner trying to steal third. 2-1 for Vane Bibber, who's 0 for 2 this evening. Vane Bibber one a time, did not get it. And a fastball just below the knees makes it 3-1. Big weekend coming up for the Trojans. There gets receiving votes Point Park, number 8 IU Southeast, and receiving votes William Carey on Friday and Saturday. Point Park Friday, the Grenadiers of IU Southeast, and William Carey on Saturday before the Trojans head back home from the South. 3-2 fouled away. Second straight weekend, Taylor has headed down to the Peach State. Taylor went 1-2 out in Arizona, dropping a tough 3-2 game in their season opener to Benedictine Mesa, thumping Kansas Wesleyan 17, losing 9-4, 8-1, and 6-4 last week to number 7 Georgia Gwinnett, one of the perennial powers in the NAIA. They've made multiple World Series appearances in a row. But Taylor had an early lead thanks to a 2-run home run by Caleb Colpine and get to the finish line and take a game off of the Grizzlies. 3-2 again. Low 1 for ball 4. Leadoff walk gets Vane Bibber on the bases for the second time tonight. To the top we go, and Peyton Dennison is 0 for 1. Low 1. Locos from his legs. Oh, just took a bad hop there as Fernandez was in on the bag. Locos with a good try down there, but a stolen base on the books for Vane Bibber. 2-0 here to Dennison at the plate. In case you're wondering, IUPUC, the Crimson Pride, as we mentioned, they have a snarling, roaring lion as their logo. Very fierce, with a crimson mane to boot. Taylor donning their Athletics logo, featured prominently here at Winter Field, not just behind home plate, but also on the Trojans' purple caps, stitched in white. Strike 1 to Dennison. It's 3-1. And there's strike 2 on the inner half, full count. And it wasn't just Taylor Athletics getting a new, fresh, updated look as well, with payoff pitch to Dennison. High fly ball to the right field area. Racing after it and making the running catch. But the University of Taylor as a whole got a new face look, new logo, athletic side of things. Strike 1 to Fee as he spun away. Ramped up even more a week from today. It's the 4th annual Taylor Athletics Day of Giving. Second pitch called for a strike to Fee, 0-2. Page go Wednesday the 22nd. 0-2 to Fee, just above the letters, ball 1. And you can find out how you can support our 18 varsity athletic teams. 12 videos for you to watch. 13 if you include the welcome message from head baseball coach and director of intercollegiate athletics, Kyle Gould. Looking for strike 3, and IUPUC's down to their last out. It'll be John Carter, their center field fundraising for. They would love your help. And if you can have the funds to do so, we ask that you would give, and please give generously. The baseball team fundraising for their annual J-term trip to Arizona had been Florida for a number of years when Stellar shortstop Josh Lane was on the roster, hooking up with his dad down there in the Florida area. But it's been to the desert ever since. Fly ball to Picchiotti in center. He's underneath. And that brings our game to a close tonight as the Trojans defeat IUPUC Columbus by a final of 30.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership in the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams. Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. At the top of the homepage, the Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Last year, year 3, was our biggest year. A lot more of our younger alumni get involved and give what they can, but get used to giving the program that's impacted their life. We're in here right now, which has been incredible for all 16 of our programs. We're closing in really fast on the Fieldhouse renovator field this year. This is more to help our programs with mission trips or with extra equipment or extra gear, things that will enhance the program. Yeah, this is the opportunity for our alumni, for our parents, for our parents of alumni, have a connection to and a chance to, again, enhance the experience and give our athletes a
Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner might out of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technician Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Approaching every conversation as if it is for the kingdom and to the glory of God.
Life to the full to me means being present where your 2 feet are at.
When I think of life to the full, I think of joy, especially.
The way we're equipping students to live life to the full is that we're helping them have a global humility.
There are so many things at Taylor that are preparing me to live life to the full. I love doing dance and performing as part of Mosaic Night the Next.
We have a lot of opportunity here to help students and to equip them to live life full now and well beyond their years at Taylor, and part of that is
living life to the full at Taylor through the different opportunities that Taylor allows us to learn about different cultures, people, and places.
That in sports, on the football field and in the throwing ring, in classes, and also in student leadership positions.
I experience life to the full at Chapel.
In that I get to see students go through their 4 years here, develop as intellectuals and scholars, be prepared for
Welcome back to Winter Holder Field, an abbreviated Ivanhoe and 5. The Crimson Pride of Indiana University. Purdue University Columbus falls to 1-4. Taylor on the road this week. IU Southeast, number 18 team in the country. William Carey receiving votes on Saturday, and Point Park receiving votes as well. Nazarene to the field here at Winter Holder Field. We just got word. We are going to talk.
Last year, year 3, was our biggest year. We got well into the 6 figures. Our participation rate amongst our athletic alumni jumped by 30 so much. We're not doing this, Dave, for big capital projects, and we've seen so many big things happen here. We've seen the weight room where we're in here right now, which has been incredible for us. We've been able to redo the turf at Turner Stadium. We'll be redoing the turf at Wheeler Field this year. This is more to help our programs with mission trips, a better experience, and give our teams a better chance to compete. Yeah, this is the opportunity for our specific gift to the program that has meant a lot in their life or that they enjoy watching or have a connection to, and a chance to, again, enhance the experience and give our athletes a better chance to.
Back one final time here against IUPUC. First of all, second earliest home opener in school history. You did open up here after the last month that we were here, a little under a year ago. This place was packed to the brim, and it was pretty full tonight on a 60-degree February day.
That was great. We got a game. We only played 3 last weekend because of the weather in Georgia, and so we just looked for anybody that was open to play. It was great to pick up a home game, and awesome to just see so many guys get to play. Sometimes play kind of the same lineup, or really fun to see kind of extended playing time for every. I mean, we played everybody we had position-wise, and got to throw guys who didn't throw last weekend and didn't.
Let's talk about Wes a little bit. He's been with Josh Anderson, the men's basketball team, for the better part of the year. Makes his collegiate debut last week against number 7 Georgia Gwinnett. What do you think about?
Had a good fall, and he's obviously a big, talented guy, and we think a lot of him. And just with where he's been in basketball, he's got some older. It's awesome that Josh would do that. He and I have told Wes from the beginning we're going to make this work to do 2 sports, and so we were excited to have him. And his first appearance again, I'm happy with that. Yeah.
A guy that you saw a lot of last year was Caleb Colpine. He picks up right where he left off. He drove in 6 runs tonight, broke the game open with a 3-run home run in the bottom.
Outs were hit hard, but he played great at Gwinnett, and it was good tonight. See him get going. We got him out of there early. Not early, but we got him out of there.
A 4th annual Day of Giving a week from today. You guys are fundraising for your annual J-Term trip to Arizona. Just tell a little bit about why you guys are doing that again.
But I think for our team, we've had enough alumni who've done it the last 5-6 years. And we used to do it sporadically, so a lot of the guys have done it. It is, aside from getting to play baseball in Arizona, it's the best thing we do, and I tend to agree with that.
You agreed with Barbara on something? That's breaking news.
I did. No,
reluctantly.
I do. I think Justin's perspective, though, is there's lives and the time we spend together. I do agree. I think it's the best thing we do, and our alums, parents of alums, have been very generous. Gift again this year of, someone's going to match the first $7,500 again this year, and we went well over that last year. So, in case you care what I still think, I fully expect you to be a part of it. And I do appreciate Rick. Like, we have some young alums who give, relatively small, but they just.
That's the win. Good luck in Georgia this weekend.
Appreciate you being up here.
That is the head coach of the Trojans, Kyle Gould. They're at the Southeast Rumble this weekend to take on some top-flight talent. Stay tuned against IUPUC. This